India is by far the largest country in South Asia. To the west of India lies Pakistan, and Bangladesh borders India on the east. Nepal and Bhutan are two small countries in the Himalayas. The region also includes the island country of Sri Lanka and the many islands of the Maldives. There are three major geographic regions in South Asia: the northern mountain rim, dominated by the Himalayas, the plains of the Indus and the Ganges rivers, and the Deccan Plateau toward the south. If you were traveling into the Himalayas from the border between India and Nepal, you would first cross a lowland area with many rivers running through it. Then, you would wind through the foothills before descending into a high valley, where you might spend some time wandering through the streets of Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. From there, you would climb up from the valley floor to a rim where you would see the snow-capped Himalayas stretching for miles in the distance. The word Himalaya means home of the snows in the Nepali language. If you were a backpacker and had time to hike for many days, you would reach the foot of Mount Everest, the world's highest mountain. West of Nepal, the mountains become drier, and the Himalayas merge with the Karakoram mountain range. The great rivers of South Asia have their sources in the Himalayas. The Indus River flows through the North Indian province of Ladakh from its source in Tibet. It is joined by several tributaries as it continues through arid country into Pakistan. This river is surrounded by desert throughout much of its course and is a very important source of water for the people of Pakistan. The most important river in India is the Ganges. It flows through a broad plain, which is densely populated and important for agriculture. The soils are very fertile because they come from rich earth materials that the river has carried down from the mountains and deposited during floods. Earth materials deposited by moving water are called alluvium, so the Ganges plain is an example of an alluvial plain. Near its delta in Bangladesh, the Ganges is joined by the Brahmaputra River, which also originates high in the mountains. Moving south of the Indo-Ganges plain toward India's triangular tip, we find a highland area known as the Deccan Plateau. In the west, the edge of this plateau is formed by high, steep hills called the Western Ghats. The plateau slopes downward towards the east, where it is bounded by the low hills of the Eastern Ghats. The word Ghat means a chain of mountains. The same word is also used to describe a flight of steps leading down to a river, like the Ghats, which you can see along the Ganges in the Indian city of Varanasi. The Deccan Plateau is important for agriculture because most of its soils are fertile. The volcanic rocks which make up the plateau are also rich in mineral ores.